Hey everybody, Kristen from A Mindful Mom here. As you know, I love sharing with you homemade recipes, but what you may not know is that it takes me multiple tries to perfect recipes I bring to you. And today, I'm gonna share with you an epic failure I had for my son's 18th birthday request. He wanted a chocolate cheesecake, and I have a tried and true chocolate cheesecake recipe, but I didn't follow my own tips and I messed it up completely. So I want to share with you today how to not make a chocolate cheesecake so that you can have perfect results. Let's get started. This cheesecake starts with an Oreo cookie crust. In my food processor here, I have 12 regular, not double stuffed Oreos, and I've placed them in my food processor fitted with an S-blade. Add in a pinch of salt just to enhance those flavors and pulse the cookies until they resemble fine crumbs, like graham cracker crumbs. Remove the lid from your food processor, add in 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. If you had salted butter, omit the salt. And then pulse again until your cookie crumbs are nice and moistened. You want to remove your cookie crumbs and place them into a 7 by 4 inch springform pan or cake pan with a removable bottom. I like to line my pan with parchment paper. It makes for easier serving, totally not necessary. And then press your cookie crumbs evenly into the bottom of your cake pan. At this point, you pop your crust into the freezer while you prepare your cheesecake batter or into a 325-degree oven for 10 minutes. For the best chocolate flavor, I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips that I'm gonna melt using a little bit of dark, strong, hot coffee. I have a 1/4 cup of coffee that I'm pouring over the chocolate chips, and then I'm gonna stir that until the chocolate is nice and melted. If it doesn't melt right away, pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds and stir again until your chocolate is nice and creamy and melted. The coffee will not overpower the cheesecake, it's just going to enhance the natural flavor of the chocolate. Set that mixture aside to cool fully. My number 1 tip for making cheesecake is to make sure that your cream cheese is at room temperature. That means that it's really squishy and it's really easy to mix up until it's nice and smooth. In my impatience to get my son's cake ready, I didn't take my own advice, and you'll see what happens. To 16 ounces or 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, which will help keep your cheesecake nice and thick and prevent it from cracking. And then I'm going to mix this on low speed until it's nice and combined. At this point, you need to stop. If you notice there are any lumps in your cream cheese, it was not fully softened. You just want to let your cream cheese continue to sit at room temperature for 30 to 60 minutes until it's nice and creamy, and then beat it again. You may want to use a spatula and just press down into the batter, and that way you can ensure that there's absolutely no lumps in your cream cheese. Add 1/3 cup of sour cream, which is going to give the cheesecake nice tang and help balance out the richness of the chocolate. And I'm going to stir on low speed until it's nice and combined. For the eggs, we want to add our eggs one at a time. We want to crack them into a small separate bowl and whisk them with a fork before adding to our cheesecake batter. This will help prevent over mixing our cheesecake batter, which can result in a curdled cheesecake. Once I've mixed my egg, I'm adding to my batter, and then I'm mixing on low just to incorporate. I'm going to repeat the process with the second egg. Now it's time to add our melted and cooled chocolate to our cream cheese mixture. I'm adding the chocolate mixture to the cream cheese batter, and then I'm folding it together until it's nice and combined. And at this point, you can see that my cream cheese is a little bit lumpy, but I'm past the point of no return. I'm gonna pop my batter into my cake pan here, over that Oreo crust, spreading just so that it's in a nice even layer, and then to pressure cook, you wanna add in 1.5 cups of cold tap water to a 6 or 8 quart Instant Pot and place your cheesecake on a metal trivet. Cook on high pressure for 35 minutes or 45 minutes if you've covered your cheesecake with foil, and allow for a full natural pressure release. After pressure has fully been released, open up your Instant Pot. At this point, if you felt like your cheesecake was not fully cooked, if it looks a little jiggly, you can cook for an additional 5 minutes. It won't affect the cheesecake. If you notice any moisture on top of your cheesecake, you want to dab it with a paper towel. As you can see, there are some white little bumps in my chocolate cheesecake, which are really noticeable because they didn't fully incorporate with that chocolate. I'm gonna remove my cheesecake and let it cool to room temperature. Then I'm covering with plastic wrap, popping it in the fridge to chill for at least 12 hours, as cheesecake always tastes best after it's been fully chilled. And then you want to remove the sides of your cheesecake pan and slice it up and serve. As I'm slicing it up, and you can see there are chunks of my cream cheese that didn't fully incorporate into my batter. But I'm happy to report that my son loved every bite. And I didn't ruin his birthday after all. And now if you want to see me make a cheesecake following my own advice, be sure to catch my next recipe where I share with you how to make Instant Pot regular cheesecake. Until next time, happy cooking.